Schwartzenberger. This report is to inform Council of Councillor Veintimilla's request for leave of absence from her Oliver Council and committee duties. As a little bit of a background, she's requesting leave of absence effective September 24th through to October 26, 2020. She is seeking leave through from Council by way of resolution through Section 125.7 of the Community Charter, as the period of leave requested by Councillor Veintimilla does not exceed the statutory limitations that I outlined above. The need to approve the leave is not a strict requirement of the legislation. However, Councillor Veintimilla has written Council requesting Council to permit the leave for the period September 24th to October 26, 2020. As well, the acting mayor schedule would require some amending, as she's scheduled for September, October, November period. The acting mayor protocol indicates that the preceding acting mayor would act as the alternate. In this case, it would be Councillor Grice who would assume the role of acting mayor for October if her schedule allowed. And alternatively, Councillor Matters was acting mayor for the period March through May and may wish to assume the role for the remainder of October. Councillor Schwartzenberger, for your information, is scheduled starting December through to February. So there's a couple of options before Council that Council may wish to grant Councillor Veintimilla a leave of absence during the election period that was stated, and Council may wish to refer back to staff for additional information. There is a proposed motion that Council accepts Councillor Veintimilla's request for leave effective September 24th, 2020 through October 26, 2020. For your information, under the Oliver Council Remuneration Bylaw 861/1997 does not contain provisions for remuneration during a leave of absence. I'll take any questions.
Any questions from Council? Councillor Grice.
Thank you, Chair Schwartzenberger. So just to speak to the acting mayor schedule, I'd ask if one of my council colleagues would be willing to take that on, as my schedule does not necessarily allow for that right now.
Yeah, it's a 2-week period we're talking about. I don't think the mayor has any plans to leave town, so it really, yeah, it's easy.
I think between Councillor Mattis and myself, we could fill in if needed. So I don't think that's a problem.
So in that case, I will move the recommendation that Council accepts Councillor Veintimilla's request for leave of absence effective September 24th to October 26, 2020.
Thank you. And the seconder from Councillor Mattis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Mayor Johansson.
I just had one question, Chair Schwartzenberger. Do we have to include identifying an acting mayor, or can we just leave it?
I think the protocol covers it.
Okay.
The policy would cover it off on that particular item.
Thank you.
Okay, no further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And on to item F2, 2020-2021 Goose Hunting season. The Director of Operations report is attached, and I'll turn the floor over to Mr. Goodsill.
Thank you, Chair Schwartzenberger and council members. It's that time of the year. We're actually a few weeks behind on getting this report. Should have came a little bit earlier. But we're requesting that we continue with the program. And I'll just touch on a few points. All permitted hunters are required to provide references related to their hunting experience and expertise. The holder of the exemption is responsible for complying with all applicable regulations, including the requirement to obtain permission from the owner of any occupied building within 100 meters. So, and then the hunters must provide the town with the number of kills and locations. And the RCMP are advised of who the permit holders are, and the advertisement to local media placed advising the permits have been issued. So that's what we're going to be doing if this passes. And a little bit of history on this. In the spring of 2010, the town of Oliver began permitting goose hunters with the intention of reducing the number of urban geese in and around the Oliver area. So we just keep reminding people that we don't get as many people actually phoning us on the subject anymore. I think people are just seem to be used to it a bit more. Of particular concern are Tuckalnuit Lake and the Oliver Airport. These two areas are environmentally attractive for large numbers of geese to congregate. The resident geese, Canada geese nesting and molting in our community are likely descendants of captured migratory Canada geese that may be used as live decoys. Geese must nest in the area where they were born. Migrating geese nest in northern Canada. Therefore, we have a steadily growing population of geese that contribute to the public's concern. And of course, they bring the concerns of goose feces and water quality problems into the community. We have issued an average of 6 permits per season, and so far the results have been a reduction of Canada geese in both areas, Tuckalnuit Lake area and Oliver Airport. And we've provided some statistics on the number of kills from the last couple of years. So in 2019, 2020, there was 0 geese at the airport and 4 at Tuckalnuit, 30 within the town boundary. And then the year before, there was 15 geese at the airport and 0 at Tuckalnuit Lake and 36 in total in the town boundary. So staff is asking council that we support the recommendation of continuing the program. If they do not support the recommendation, or to refer back to staff.
Thank you, Mr. Goodsell. Any questions from council? Mayor Johansson.
I'll move the recommendation that the goose management program continues for the 2020-21 season with 6 permits issued.
And seconded by Councillor Mattis. Any further discussion? Councillor
I
Mattis.
just wanted to make a comment. I think we'll find that there's fewer geese at the airport since the pond that was next to the airport is now dry. I think it'll make a huge difference.
Oh, is it totally dry now?
It's gone. I don't know where the water went or what happened, but
That's interesting.
Collins Pond, or
Yeah.
Collins Lake is dry.
As long as I've been working here, that's always been,
Yeah.
there's always been water in there.
They took out the orchards next door and it replanted, and since that time, it's gone. Take a drive by, have a look.
Maybe less irrigation water filling it.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
what transpired.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Any further discussion? I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Public question period. We have no public here, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Councillor Mattis, Councillor Grice, all those in favor? Opposed? Easiest cow I've ever chaired.
What could I have received? Somebody just tried to call me.
Turn it off, because I
I wouldn't even know what